It's essentially removal in this format. In our colors, yeah, it looks as though another temporal isolation, or you could take a bear if you just want to fill out the curve. I kind of like getting another Thallid, like another Spore Maker. I'm gonna go with another one of these, just like ramp into, make, go wide. Elder has synergy with some of these plays. If we're gonna have like a bunch of 1/1s, this is actually quite nice. If you go wide with it. I think you take the Elder. That seems like a fine build around card for us. We have a bunch of 1 power creatures. That's a 1 power creature. These make 1 power creatures. I think you take Elder. The other consideration is Fortify. This is a very flexible combat trick. I'm going to take the Elder. Try to build around this a little bit. Now this pack says, oh wow, nobody's building Storm. Fantastic. This is ramp, the Paradise Plume, but I think you take the Asp. You could take Plume. This is a form of ramp. Although I'm not really... Like, I'd rather my ramp be earlier, to be honest with you. Like things like Lens. Let's take the Asp, unless we want to not play against a whole bunch of goblins. I'm actually gonna hate on the Warrens. Dat Asp. We could have taken the Asp. Gaze or Healer. I was eyeing the Healer earlier. This guy's flexible. She can either ping things down, much like the Zealot Ilvec does, or she does a good job protecting. She's not a 1/1 though, so she doesn't fall in the category of Pendelhaven Archer. Gaze of Justice is just some more removal. You need 3 white untapped creatures to pull this card up. I think the more playables are the Healer or the Asp. I'm gonna take the Healer. It's flexible. Pings things. There's plenty of decks that might have a series of small creatures, and it's flexible. We were kind of going for the long haul, right? I mean, we're looking to play some of these, and then just kind of make an army of 1/1s, and maybe you go big with, you get some combat tricks. You've got Elder. I like that we're in, you know, these colors, and we did manage to find a storage land in our colors, which is nice. Take Elder, then all the fungi. Guy. Yeah, Pendelhaven seems sweet in this deck. Yeah, we can take pretty much every fungus that makes Thallids if we can. Okay, so Aspect came around. I like Aspect of Mongoose because if I can stick one of these guys and then give it Shroud, that seems fantastic. And this doesn't target, it just says, well, this says regenerate target fungus, but if you can stick one of these and then Aspect of Mongoose, you keep getting back, even if they somehow take out the creature. The only other picks are maybe you go back into blue for Looterill Core, maybe you run the Dreamstalker, or you take the Dryad or the Healer. I'm actually going to take the Aspect of Mongoose. Ward is interesting, but it does cantrip as well. It's actually more main deckable than Aspect of Mongoose, isn't it? Ward's interesting. So this is enchant creature, choose a color when it enters battlefield, draw a card, and then of course it has pro of the chosen color. What's neat is it says this effect doesn't remove Pentrutch Ward, so basically you could name white, but the ward wouldn't be removed, because normally if you have a creature that has pro white and you have an enchantment on it that is white, that should fall off, but that's not the case here. So I could see us sideboarding in any combination of webs against shadow decks, and then Aspect against removal heavy decks. To the point where I'd even take another web just so we don't get Raffle Stomped by shadow decks. Momentary is super sweet though. I really like the idea of Blink, actually. And then of course we can take another Dreamstalker if we want to go into blue. And then Plunder's interesting. Nat is pretty terrible, but... Alright, one more pack to go. Brew it harder makes us stronger. We're not playing just limited tonight, guys. By the by. We're going to be playing these later. This card, I tested it a little bit more in paper. This card started to grow on me, so... I've actually started not really curving the deck, although I guess you could curve it like so. What I've been doing is actually looking at the deck, analyzing what the different pieces do. So we've got about 12 cards worth of flex, snaps, cryptics, muddles, and then this odds ends. Our burn pile is 4 bolt, 3 helix, 2 electrolyze. Our removal package is 4 path, 1 declaration in stone that's tutorable, 2 anger of the gods, 1 verdict. Then our haymakers are 2 brain, 1 foundry, 1 sword, 1 Armageddon, 1 bird cestral, and then 2 snares. Post board, we're siding into Resto Kiki. Jason Nahiri can find either the Kiki or the Resto. Some creatures that enjoy the Resto: Blinking, Vendilion Clique, Staticaster, Venser, more tutor package, so Kataki that's tutorable, Firewalker that's tutorable, a Mage that's tutorable, Purge, Wear Tear, and then 1 Linvala to supplement the Anger of the Gods plan. If you want to look at that deck, you can push Life and Limb is cool. Kind of like Life and Limb, even in our deck. Because we're like ramping. Kind of like this card. It's probably the wrong pick though. Lance is nice. We could get run over. Might be a nice sideboard card for us. Is there anything that we'd want that's main deckable though? Counter spells that target a permanent you control. Rebuff the Wicked's interesting. A lot of people don't really look at that card because, like, if you're thinking Legacy, you have things like, I like Rebuff actually. Kind of a neat card. It's a specific counter spell, but anyway, I think you take the fungus because it's kind of like building into what we're doing, the whole Thallid thing. I think you take Drake is interesting actually. I like Drake. Udakabi Drake, you have to pay for the Echo, but it's pretty resilient. I think you take the Thallid though, because I'm kind of trying to just. This also gives us sacrifice and draw off of our tokens. So Deadwood's something that's nice to ramp into. Really grindy. This is the 3/6 Vanishing Tree Folk. When he enters, return a creature. When he leaves, return a creature. This guy's really grindy. Other than that, I would maybe consider the Drake Rift Watcher for aggro. I think you take this because this gives us a nice haymaker to ramp into. Just a lot of value. Oozes value. Just oozes value. So it's a nice 6-drop for us. And maybe you bring back the Acid Moss. Try to ramp into this between Calciform and Prismatic. Not that much ramp though. I wish we had a little bit more. Maybe you don't main deck the Zealot deck or the healer. How's it going, dog? I have considered research development. Doesn't do as much as Beck, though. Beck just does research's job better, unfortunately. White Mane's interesting. White Mane's like a protection that's also committing to the table. It's very good. I think you take the Lion. This pack has no green. Tactician is interesting. It gives me an Anthem sort of in the late game, but I think you just snap pick up the Lion. Lion's flexible. There's another Lion. Okay, so we got a lot of different choices here. A lot of green, which is nice. Okay, so Seal is a sideboard card, but I think you take the Wood Readers. Against like aggressive decks, you just play it as a 1/4 blocker. Against other decks, you can just kick it and you draw 2. I mean, you could take a second Tree Folk, but I think you take the Wood Readers because it's more flexible. Sarah's Boon's interesting. Sarah's Boon is potentially removal or it's a pump. This is flexible. Yeah, I mean, if it's white, it's pump. If it's not, Saltfield Recluse. I think you take this, this, or this. I kind of prefer the Lion. I'm gonna take the Wood Readers though. Okay, what do we not want to play against, basically, is what this pack is. Firefright Mage and Marauders are kind of scary. Gossamer Phantasm is kind of scary for us. Frozen Aether is just a sweet card, by the way. Kind of just want it. Oh, Dreamscape is ramp. Discard a card, sack a land, and then put 2 basics onto the battlefield. This is ramp. We're going to go into blue, which we were considering with its Stalkers. Dreamscape would be where we want to be. There's another one. Evolution Charm is not a form of ramp, but it's fixing. Yeah, I would splash blue for the Dreamscapes. That's a form of ramp. Recurring ramp, because you're sacrificing. You had to discard a land, though, to do it, which is rough, but you discard a card to do it, but might be fine. try him. Oh, Troll's fascinating for our deck. We are probably just going to be a green-white deck. This is totally for our deck. So this is a 3/3 for 3, ideally in our deck, that also has Regenerate. So this seems kind of like where we want to be. Dawn Charm sweet? Dawn Charm is sweet. Utopia Vow is interesting. It's either a pacifism effect, or you can use it on your own creatures to ramp you. I think I take this and don't run the Dreamscapes. I'm a little less excited about that. That's ramp for us. Essentially, you play like Green Seeker, and then she has the ability to either search us land, or she can just ramp. I think you take the Drake, finally. You can take Dustwasp. It's not horrible. Kind of prefer the Drake, though. Depends on what you want to be doing. This does take up a turn, though. Like, you want to play this turn... You don't want to play this until turn 3 or later, though. Actually, let's take the Wasp. You can just suspend it, or hardcast it later. Okay, Tactician, Shade. We can have Shades of our own. Shades are nice in ramp decks. That's true. This gives us another 1 mana play potential. I kind of want to take the... Are any of these really scary for us? This is a really cool card, by the way. Venerian Glimmer. This is removal. Guess you take that. Not that we're going to run it, but... The other card might be scarier, though. Alright, so there's the Recluse. I think we take it over the Firefight Mage. We actually might run this. It's not terrible. It's pretty bad, but it's not unplayable. I like what's going on here. I'm glad that we found Archetype. It's a little boring that I actually think you take the, I think you take the Firefight. I'm thinking about hitting on those for a while. So we got a pretty solid green-white with some instant speed shenanigans. I don't think we're going to run the balance, but it's worth considering. I don't like it, though. I'm going to cut that, and then we add the rest of the mana base. Still playing the draw deck? I am. Yep, it's right here. We're going to play it later tonight. So if you guys stick around after we're finished with this. Basics, basically, and cool. I think because we have the Troll, I think I want to hedge a little bit more into the plains, to the point of I would do 6 to 9 even. I know we have green here. I would maybe even go a little greedier and do 7, 8. That's still more forest than it is plains. Cressel's great. Cressel is main deck enchantment removal, but also lets me has some synergy with the ward, so basically, you need to be careful though, because Cressel says it's not a may destroy enchantment, it just does. So we'll need to be careful about that. How many enchantments do I have, actually? Gauntlet of Power in our deck could name white or green. I think it's going to name green in our deck. I think it's going to name green. Because we're going wide with Thalids? Yeah. So actually, I'm a little worried about the main deck Cressel because it could hit my Temporal Isolation. It could hit my Utopia Vow. It could hit the Pencharge Ward. So actually, I'm a little worried about main decking this. So let's add a 17th land. It's probably going to tell me Forest. Absolutely. Yep. Let's go with 17 land because I am trying to get to some of these plays. 7-8 doesn't seem bad. Yeah. I think the star is fine. It's just a cantrip. I think it's fine. It's color fixed.